Hi guys, welcome back to August Love Story, the channel. My name is Artieka.
And I'm Tommy.
Did you forget who you were?
Nah, I was looking off. I was looking off.
And today we are reviewing Married at First Sight, Season 12, Episode 18, The Reunion, Part 1. Before we get into this review, please take a moment to subscribe to our channel. Share this video with a friend. And thumbs up the video. You ready to do this?
Let's do it.
All right. Full disclosure before we even get to the couple. We know that Chris is on a rant on Instagram tonight. We saw part of the rant. We still don't care. Before anybody tells us in the comments.
Right.
So starting off how they did with Virginia and Eric. So they are still married.
Okay.
Happy for them.
All right. Yeah, me too.
Why you look at me like that?
She was like, I'm happy for them. Are you really?
Yeah. So we go through the relationship package, and one of the things that he said, I know you missed part of theirs at the very beginning, but he said that he didn't like how he looked on TV, and he was working to change those things. And I'm like, because TV made you look like a butthole because you were being a butthole. Kind of easy for them to do that when you give them so much footage to work with.
What do you do to make yourself look different on TV?
I don't think that you can make yourself look differently. I think that, and this is something that totally unrelated, but this is something that Tamar Braxton says she struggled with the Braxton family values. Like, no matter what she did, she was placed in this box. But I think that some of it is what you're giving. Mm-hmm. And then you don't have control over edits. So if you don't have control over edits, they can put pauses where they want to and do random things. And it's just, they're taking what you're giving them, but they can amplify it to make it look worse.
I would imagine. I laugh because I just imagine how I would look on TV.
Crazy.
First off, I would have, if anybody, we watch a lot of TV, a lot of this with the captions on, it would be like indistinct chatter for so much of my speech. And then I would just look horrible, I believe.
It would be a lot of, what did he say?
What did he say? I can't believe he just did that. Why is he always this? Anyway, I digress. Go ahead.
Virginia said that they're learning every day to communicate better. She did let us know that she's moved into the condo, into the guest room. She's basically turned that into her and the cat's rooms. Kevin is the host name, right?
Yeah,
I don't know why I want to call him Keith, but it's Kevin.
It's Kevin.
Male K names. Kevin did say that he asked her, did she still think that he wasn't allergic to the cat? She was like, he was there, like her and the cats were there 3 weeks before he said anything about his allergies. So she's like, I still like don't believe that he's allergic. And I'm like, interesting. There's something to that. I think that if he just didn't like cats, he should have just said that. It makes it easier than lying on allergies. And then we found out that prior to them getting married, which was where you walked in, that she had a false positive COVID test, and she had to get like 3 or 4 more tests done to end up like that all said negative for her to end up being able to be married at first sight. And so she was worried that she wasn't going to actually get to meet him because they would have completely called off the wedding and not like move the date or something.
Yeah.
Due to her having COVID. So that was the last thing that I wrote about the two of them.
Yeah.
Was about the COVID results. So they're still together.
Well,
I'll take the L that I was wrong.
Eric's mom came out.
Oh, she did. I forgot about that.
And like to no surprise, like it was like a lot of trying to like beef it up and trying to like make it suspenseful as if it was going to be a problem between Virginia and Eric's mom.
Oh, I did write more about them. I'm sorry.
Did
You
you?
can finish that.
Oh, okay. But I like, we know that they're not going to come on TV and say, hey, I don't like her.
Right.
Unless you're like
Love and hip hop.
Right, or something like that. But
like Pam and Lyrica.
That's funny. But you know, like they like each other. She's, you know, and they're still getting to know each other and stuff like that too. So I think that was positive. Virginia doesn't think that she has a drinking problem.
That's what I was about to get to. I wrote that they talked about her drinking and she said that she hardly even goes out now. And I was like, okay. She was like, I talked about my drinking more than I actually went out to drink. And I was like, but girl, you drank a lot on this show too.
Yeah. It wasn't like you didn't drink a lot on it.
Yeah, it's like you drank a lot and you were drunk.
A lot. More
than any of the other wives were. I mean, like the bachelorette party, we had Brianna toe up.
Mm-hmm.
We saw Haley drink a lot, but Haley was drinking more like White Claws.
I don't know what that is.
It's a hard seltzer.
Oh.
So the equivalent of like a Smirnoff Ice, I believe.
Yeah.
I don't drink White Claws, so I don't have a frame of reference, but from everyone that I like know that has them, they're the equivalent of like saying I had a beer tonight.
Yeah.
It's not a lot of alcohol content.
Right.
So we saw her drinking those a lot. We did see Virginia drinking like harder liquor. And I'm pretty sure that's it that we really saw like drunk.
Yeah. No, I think Virginia saying, coming back on and saying, hey, like I don't go out as much and stuff like that is what we wanted to see as consumers understanding. Well, me personally understanding as a married man, knowing like going out with your friends all the time is not something that's conducive or productive to your marriage.
Or your life.
Or your life for that matter. But it was some growing up that needed to happen with her. And it seems like that happened, as well as Eric kind of understanding where he went wrong. And it's kind of like they're trying to meet in the middle. Now they're actually putting in the work and actually going through the phases. At least that's what it seemed like to me on the reunion. So on this one, this part one,
she's attempting to live her life as Mrs. Lake show.
Right.
Like, and I mean Mrs. Lake as in like following the family guidelines of this is how we act. Like she's still definitely the wild card in the family, but she's taming herself a little bit. You got anything else for them?
No, that's it.
Next up was Clara and Ryan. Ryan debuted a new mustache.
That was new? I thought it was the mustache from Unfiltered. Yeah.
But Unfiltered was also filmed after the show was done.
Yeah.
So
I always think people with mustaches like that are silly. I don't know, because it takes so much. Like, did it curl?
Yeah, it curled up on the inside. It went
like that takes time to make it curl.
Clara said that she fought the mustache. So Kevin did go through, of course, his hard line of questioning. The first one was about like coming to a consensus on kids and religion. They basically said that they're gonna resolve the kids and how they're raised before they have kids, but they haven't crossed that bridge yet. So I hope she doesn't get pregnant and they have 9 months to figure it out. Yeah. I'm not saying that she's pregnant now, but it's just like, you know how people put things off until they're faced with it?
Yeah.
I hope it's not one of those situations. I hope it's something that they can resolve and then they agree to have kids rather than, hey, I'm pregnant. We got to figure this out. So, hope that they can work through that easily. They did talk about Kevin saying that they weren't going to work out.
Yeah.
At the
Ryan had brought that up.
Yeah. And I'm like, I mean, Kevin stand your ground, and he did.
He did. He was like, "Hey, that's what I said." I like the fact that they come in like as, "Hey, we watched this too."
Mm-hmm.
You know, I like that fact, and it's kind of like y'all are here with us, you know, and we get to talk to you guys or see your reaction to most of the questions that we want answered.
Right. Let's see. They did say that their announcement, because it was brought on the commercials like a big announcement, and Clara was like, we have a little announcement. They are going to, she said, get remarried, but essentially it's going to be a vow renewal.
Mm-hmm.
And so they're going to actually do this with the people that they would have invited to a wedding had they been married in the traditional sense, which I think is cool. I think it is a lot of money, but that's just former like bride and groom who tried to drive the cost down as much as he could.
Man, I'd have been like, well, we just gonna enjoy this.
Y'all didn't see it on TV?
Right. We just have a reception at the crib, man.
Not at the crib, baby. So then I wrote that there's still no I love you. Kevin asked, do you love her? And then he said, I think I do. And then he said, I love you. And she said, I love you too. I am surprised that Clara did not burst into tears.
I am too. Moment. I just knew she was, but they probably told each other they love each other before that.
No, he said no.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he said no, that they hadn't. And that's why Kevin asked, do you love her?
That's a good question, Kevin.
I wrote, I love you too. Yay. They get to the sex conversation and they gave this whole ambiguous, maybe yes, maybe no, we're not really going to say anything type answer.
They ultimately did have sex, though. Like, the answer that they gave was like, yeah, we had sex, but we don't want to tell.
Yeah, my mom is watching.
Right.
Be like, you're married. It's okay.
Right.
Just don't go into detail because I don't want to know the details.
Right. What's the song? Flip it, rub it, smack it down. Oh no.
They got onto the conversation of Dr. Viviana saying maybe Ryan was a virgin and that's why he wasn't comfortable having sex. He was like, no, I'm not a virgin. Hi, Mom.
And then they talked about Clara's personal spending habits, which the clip that they showed and what she said in the clip, I was like, that was stupid. She said she spent $200 a day before Prime Day.
Yeah, I was like, why?
Why you couldn't wait?
And Prime Day happens for 2 days.
Right.
Literally, like, I bought something on Prime Day last year and I put it in my cart and I kept refreshing to make sure that the price didn't update. I was going to buy the item twice if it went on sale and I got a better like price on it the later time. But I kept checking it for days even after Prime Day.
That's like somebody going and buying a TV on the Wednesday before Thanksgiving.
Well, maybe if it's already on sale.
I'm just saying, like, the best sales are Black Friday for electronics.
Allegedly.
No, they are. They're pretty good.
I don't buy electronics.
$50 for a 50-inch TV.
I don't buy electronics. That's your job, so whatever.
I wouldn't buy that TV. But anyway, that was silly. That's like terrible spending habits. And that was one of the clips that they showed. Never before seen footage.
Yeah. You done with them?
Yeah, I'm done with them.
Brianna and Vincent. So, of course, they're still together. They've moved into his place. I noticed Brianna kept calling his apartment really small. And I'm like, girl, it's an apartment. Yeah. She said that she has moved into his closet and put all of his clothes in the pantry.
That's interesting, man.
I was like, well, where'd the pantry?
Where'd the stuff that was in the pantry go?
I guess they not eating at the house, so because remember she had a big going out budget.
He got a nice apartment though.
Yeah, I mean,
really nice.
It's in Buckhead. It should be nice.
Yeah,
he's paying a lot of money for the location.
Oh, for sure.
Let's see. she said that she is learning to compromise. Their families are blending well. And Vincent talked about a lot of his bad moments that happened on the TV being because of anxiety, because he knew that there would be so many people watching his every move, and he just wasn't dealing with them well. Which I believe I said that particularly about the dance lesson.
Right.
I could definitely see that being an anxiety thing. Like, I am a high anxiety person, and I wouldn't want to be filmed taking a dance class.
I would, man. I'd kill it.
I mean, you obviously don't care. Me, on the other hand, I just wouldn't be able to do it. So, I mean, I felt him in that moment. And I could see some of the other things that he did being anxiety issues, like not being able to overcome it in the moment, because a lot of anxiety is getting in your own head and having issues because of it. And Vincent acted like a person that was in his own head about everything.
He was, man. He truly was. Compromise, that was a big one. Like, that I felt like Brianna didn't understand. And I think she's getting it a little bit better now.
She has to.
Right. So that was something I looked at and I was like, that's a good job, guys, on that one. Kevin compared this Vincent and Brianna to Woody and Imani. Like, we've all had done that throughout the season. Like,
they were of their seasons, they are the couples that you gravitate to because you can see them actively trying to work at this relationship and not running because something happened. Even though Vincent did have his moment of, I'm going back to my house.
Yeah.
And Imani had her moment in the camera clapping her hands. She was ready to fight. So,
yeah. I
mean, we all go through those things. Everything's not going to always be 100% peachy, but the goal is to overcome it.
Yeah, I always laugh at this because, like, right before, not today, but right before we record, we'll get into it about something, and sometimes it shows on the video, but most of the time it doesn't. But I just find it funny, man. You know, everybody goes through those moments, so even us.
Yeah,
even us.
We didn't have an issue today.
No, we didn't.
Pat on the back for me, because I'm usually the issue.
Good job, buddy.
So then we see a never before seen clip of Vincent's boot
Coach
camp.
Vinny. With the whistle.
That was funny. And like, it's nice to see them laugh.
Yeah.
And enjoy each other, like with him being ridiculous, like him not being able to get over himself.
Right.
And have fun. So I really did enjoy that. And then we basically ended on a Spanish lesson. And Brianna got 4 out of 5 right, which, I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you, it would be nice to have somebody in home that you could go over Spanish with. You don't know Spanish. I think I might have took more Spanish than you did.
Well, I took 2 Spanish classes, 2 Spanish 1 classes in college.
I ended up taking 3, and I'm not gonna lie, I did not pass one. I dropped it, and then had to go back and take it again. That's why it's 3.
Yeah, I just straight up failed it. Anyway,
that is awful.
That's all I got. You're right, it is. It's terrible.
Let's hope the baby is better than us.
Yeah.
That's all I have for those 2.
Yep.
So then we get to all the girls together. He started off shading Chris by saying, some of y'all got a husband out of this. And he didn't mean like you got to stay married to your husband, like you didn't get a jerk.
Yeah.
So Kevin did talk to Haley about if the sex was bad or not on their honeymoon, like her and Jacob. And basically she said it wasn't good. And I'm like, you just didn't like him.
Yeah, that's what it was. She didn't like him.
I'm not gonna say that he didn't have a mediocre performance because I wasn't there.
Yeah,
but I think it's coupled in.
Yeah, because she said that. Yeah. She said it wasn't anything emotional, and then the physical part came, and which like a day or two into the relationship, you already not trying. So that's the part about it, and. Like I guess what I'm not getting from her is what is it that, because she said even though she was like, I tried so hard, I felt like I was trying so hard and not getting anything in return. What is it that you wanted from him that he wasn't giving you? Because he did make all the changes that you asked for. You asked him to dress better. He wasn't giving up his boots and jeans with the button down. That's a style. Or
it's his style.
It's his style. So, but he wasn't wearing the.
What did Kojo call it? Smart casual.
He wasn't wearing the t-shirts, which I don't see nothing wrong with a graphic tee, man.
I don't either. I make them.
Right. But that's just
my money.
He made those changes. I'm just trying to figure out what is it that she wanted from him.
She wanted him to not be Jacob.
Yeah.
She wanted him to be a totally different person. And I don't think that this was a process for her to go through.
I don't either. She said he blocked her on everything.
Yeah, she said she hasn't had any communication with him since decision day. And I mean, I don't see them communicating outside of with attorneys because
what they got to talk about.
Why would they? They did as a group collectively talk about, or the women that are happily married talked about their need for a long time with their spouses and just making sure that they take the time that they need, which we just had a podcast episode come out about that. At this point, it'll be yesterday when you guys see this. So I will probably put it up in the cards in the top and also put it in the description box if you guys want to check that out. And then they talked to Paige about where her relationship went wrong, which apparently was day one in my opinion, but it is what it is. And then they discussed they're going to Mexico as a group, the ladies, sans Clara because she had another obligation, and how they're planning a trip again soon, which I think that a lot of the Married at First Sight ladies do bond over this experience. And a lot of the ones, I haven't seen a lot of the ladies on a complete season do things together, but I have seen like Mika went out with a couple of the other girls from other seasons, like they all met up. Yeah. Because it is, like they say, it's a sisterhood. It's kind of like how the ladies on Real Housewives are like, we're all Real Housewives, like no matter what city and franchise. It's the same for them. They're all married at first sight. They've all done this crazy thing of marrying somebody they don't know and then having a camera crew follow them around filming it. So I think it's, nice that they've had a bond. I don't feel like the guys.
No, the guys didn't
bond like that.
You got to look at the range of people you have. You got Chris and Eric.
Well, no. I don't mean like from this season. I mean like in general, the guys from the show.
Well, some of them do, some of them don't. So
mostly we just see Woody and Miles.
Yeah,
they were friends before.
Yeah,
but yeah, you were right. The range of people like Chris and Eric not gonna get along. Ryan is just not gonna show up unless he has to, and I feel like that's the same for Vincent. It's just kind of like, I mean, y'all got champagne.
and then Jacob was just like checked out of the whole experience. So
Jacob gonna end up finding him a homegirl now.
Jacob's gonna be good, man.
I hope Haley finds somebody and she wants to be with them and they want to be with her.
Yeah.
Because apparently their 15-year-old relationship scarred her for life.
Apparently.
All right, so last up was Chris and Paige. We did find out that they have seen each other since decision day because they have decided to go to couples counseling to reconcile. And I'm happy that Kevin said it because I was saying that in my head, this was such a well-rehearsed script that you gave out there, Chris.
Mm-hmm.
He was like, I was immature. Actually, he referred to himself in third person because he said Chris Williams II was immature and not deserving of a woman of Paige's caliber. Paige just basically says she doesn't think that they're meant for each other. I think it's really interesting that they decided to go to counseling at some point before February, because this was filmed in February. And then he also went back to the ex-girlfriend / baby mama because they were out gallivanting in Mexico together. So it's like, at this point, with all these failed things going on in your life, you should just be by yourself and work on self. Yeah. Because the common denominator in all that is Chris.
Yeah.
Kevin asked about Paige's family. Like, did Chris feel like he owed her family an apology for the way that he treated her? He said that he repents for the way that he's treated her in public and making comments like he did. Kevin commended him on his media training. They talked about sex. She basically said that she regretted having sex with him, and then they said they didn't want to talk about sex anymore. And I felt like the questions that Kevin was asking them about sex, which was essentially, why did you keep having sex if you knew you didn't like her? They're like, we're not going to get into that. And I'm like, that's a very valid question, because that's an unresolved issue for all of us viewing. Like, you signed up to be on this show. Like, right. I get that people say they want to keep parts of their lives private, but the 8 weeks of that relationship,
that's what you talked about,
shouldn't be private.
Right. I mean, like, you talked about you continuously having sex with this guy that doesn't like you, doesn't think you're pretty.
Told you to your face. And knowing that you have all these problems with him, you continuously had sex with him. Mm-hmm. And so like she decided not to answer a lot of those questions because she understood that I look bad. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't want to go any further into it. I know I look bad. I know it was some bad decisions made, and we'll keep it like that and keep pushing. The one thing that bothers me about people going on reality TV is, if I ask you something that happened on camera, don't refuse to not answer the question. Mm-hmm. Like, it was a couple times, and Chris does this all the time, and it gets on my nerves. That's what makes it like them. That's why I felt like they are ruining the show. Mm-hmm. It's because you come on here, you act a fool, and then when somebody questions you about it, you want to get mad and not talk about it. Like the situation with Mercedes. Mm-hmm. So I think it was about the car, right? Yeah, he asked does she still have the Mercedes? And he wouldn't answer.
He didn't want to talk about it. Mm-hmm. I'm like, well, that's a valid question, because that's a question that I asked.
He has two questions. Was he still in love with her? And does she still have the car?
And he didn't want to answer neither one of those questions.
Saying that
because he didn't want to take Paige through something. I was like, dude, you just dragged Paige through.
You've been dragging Paige through stuff since August, and it is now February.
Right.
And the dragging is still continuing. But I don't think that saying that I'm still in love with a person is a dig at another person.
No, it's just what it is.
Because those are two mutually exclusive things. Like, you could be in love with a person and married to someone that you don't know, which is what happened. Yeah. And it's not a dig at the ex or the current, because I mean, it happened. It's one of those things. But I'm gonna be honest, Chris is the person that would make me want to choose violence every day. And like, it's something about him that just gets under your skin, and you're just like, man, I could just slap you right now.
What it is that he's still immature in the mind that of situations. Like, he's one that can't sit in the same room as a person that has done him wrong you know, and not want to fight this person or not, you know, like want bad things. He's still a person that wishes bad upon people.
I don't wish bad upon people, but I say, hey, if it happens.
You know what I'm saying? Like when Pastor,
maybe I'm immature too.
Right. Pastor Dwight came out. He felt disrespected. He could not sit there and say, hey, I felt like you disrespected me, and have a conversation with Pastor Dwight.
Yeah, okay. So to get to that, we watched about 3 to 5 minutes of that live stream before I was like, I can't watch this no more.
Yeah,
that he
like
did
that.
After the episode. And he essentially was just like, they asked him back in November, would he be willing to do the reunion with Pastor Dwight? And he said no. And then he says he shows up in February and Pastor Dwight is there and he feels blindsided. And I get that. Like, you can feel as blindsided as you want. Like, someone told you that someone wasn't coming and then they show up. But at this point, you've given them a lot of drama. Like, you've given them 8 weeks worth of drama. At this point, they can capitalize on saying drama because they know what's going to make you tick. They know that they can put you in situations to like get a reaction out of you. And your job was to not give them the reaction that you did. And you failed miserably at that.
Right.
And it's not to say that everybody could go through this and be a saint in the situation. But if the problem, and this is what he claims the problem is that Dwight spoke to Paige without his consent, that should be a, dude, I apologize. I'm sorry. I won't do it again. Move on.
Right. Right. And he put emphasis on his wife, but at that point he had asked her for a divorce.
Twice.
Right. So it's like, man, Chris is just, his reaction to things were not of a grown man's reaction to things.
Right.
He still had a mindset of a child, and I'm going to throw a temper tantrum, and we can fight if you want to. Most men that I know, not finna sit up here. If they have a problem with you, they're going to speak on that problem with you, and that's the end of it. We go on doing what we're going to do. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? I'm not finna try to fight you. I'm too old to be trying to fight somebody.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And stuff like that. So it's
and you have too much to lose because who's trying to go to jail?
Right. And then hold on. It's a pastor.
And he got at that too in that live. Like, we literally watched a very short clip, but in that clip too, he said that Dwight was supposed to come on there as his homeboy. He was supposed to be a groomsman. And then when none of the pastors that he had could work out, Dwight was like, I'll do it because I'm ordained the pastor. I can do that. And he was like, was supposed to be one other pastor, and then his pastor from Chicago, which, Lord, I'm happy the little pastor from Chicago wasn't on here.
Yeah.
But if that was your homie and your homie is a pastor, okay, great, cool. He can marry you. No problems there. But if that's your friend, you should be able to tell your friend why you felt they had you messed up. And if y'all are truly friends, even if y'all don't want to be friends anymore, you can agree to disagree.
Right.
I didn't like that, but he like, come see me in the parking lot.
Right.
To do what?
Right. To do what? And for me, I was listening to what Pastor Dwight said, even though I believe that he's capitalizing off of his opportunity on TV, which is, I don't have an issue with it because, hey, man, you do what you got to do to feed your family. But what he was saying was, once Chris wasn't grasping on to what he was saying or intaking what he was saying, I was done telling him, talking to him. Mm-hmm. I get that. Like, I'm not finna sit up here and talk. This is like, we literally saw the disrespect that this man gave him. He was talking to him, and your boy was just on his phone.
I laughed because I thought about Kevin, because Chris said that he felt like Dwight was diminishing Mercedes to talk Paige up. And Kevin was like, didn't you do the exact opposite?
Right.
You diminished Paige to talk Mercedes up.
Right.
Like, you did the exact same thing. He was like, but I didn't mean it like that, though. But you did it.
Dude, it's foolish, man.
It's like, but you did the exact same thing. And somehow it's unforgivable for him, but it's not for you.
It's all a game. You know, I feel like he really came on TV to get some type of notoriety, which, I mean, you get it how you live in those sense, but you don't have to attack somebody else. You don't have to step on other people to get where you want to get to. Like, you may have to leave some people behind, you know what I'm saying, and stuff like that. But Paige, I feel like, was the innocent bystander through everything and got the most harm.
I don't want to say she was an innocent bystander. She was an active participant.
She came into the whole thing with better intentions of what she received. Mm-hmm. And I just feel like, you know, she got the short end of the stick on a lot of stuff. So I know that Chris didn't do this correctly, because if he had, he would be out here, I don't want to say being a cash cow, but he would have found a better way. Mm-hmm. Like, it would have been some money made off of these. All this engagement that his posts are getting, all these subscribers and followers, he should have something more going. He definitely didn't do this right. Than YouTube, or not YouTube, I'm sorry, than Instagram rants that you lock the comments so people can't say anything back to you. Because he know like people are gonna attack him. But if you're going to do this, you should be open for the attacks, or you should become some type of, I don't want to say a recluse, but remove yourself from the situation. Because if you don't want to hear what other people have to say back to you, you should probably just take yourself out of the equation and just move on. Yeah. Like, that would be the easiest thing to do for this situation. But this episode ended with Chris walking out trying to fight a pastor. Oh, yeah, because Pastor Dwight said he doesn't like to be corrected. Yeah. And he proved his point. And he definitely proved his point. And so Chris walked away, upset and angry. Oh, he stormed out. He's like, catch me outside. How about that? He walked off like Lily when she doesn't get her way for something and she stomps her feet. Like, that's what it felt like. It literally felt like I was looking at an adult version of a toddler who was like, I didn't get my way, except for he was yelling and cursing. Yeah. And Paige is just looking there like, Chris. I feel like she's still defending him. And it sucks. It really does suck. Well, at this point, she's gotten to see herself on TV and looking back at things. And I'm happy that, you know, she knows that this relationship did not serve her. And she is working to move beyond it. And I hope she's still seeing her two therapists, because after being ripped to shreds on the internet for 17, 18 weeks now, he need therapy. Yeah. All based off of decisions you made. But anyway, I digress. Next week, we shall see the ending and see who do we have left for next Jacob week? And Haley. And then I think they're going to bring everybody in together. Oh, yeah. Jacob and Haley. And then we'll probably still see Chris storming out at the beginning of the next episode. Yeah, Chris probably, I'm curious to see the preview of the next episode. I hope this isn't 2 hours, because it probably is. So just be prepared. I'm still hopeful. It's an hour and 23 minutes without the commercials. Anyway. Still hopeful. Nobody asked that. Anywho, please like this video, subscribe to our channel, turn on the notification bell, share this video to a friend that watches or maybe doesn't watch Married at First Sight, because I've seen a lot of people say that they watch the reviews because they don't want to watch the show. Right. It's a mess. I think that's all. Go check out our podcast that we released yesterday. Oh, yeah. The one we talked about earlier. Alone Time. Because that was something that they talked about in this. But that's so funny that we brought that up. Trendsetting. Yeah. But check that out, man. Let us know how important that is in your life in your marriage or your single life or your relationship, whatever. Just let us know. Yeah.
That's it.
That's it. All right.
That's it.
Peace.
Bye.